My name is Spencer Coffman with Social Media Ministries, and this is Dave Kahle with Kahle Sales Systems. He is a business-to-business sales expert and Christian business thought leader. Great to have you here today. I have a question for you. Can Christians be rich?
Well, the quick answer to that, Spencer, is yes. But there's a little bit more to it than that. I think Christians can be rich, and we have lots of biblical examples. And I'm going to think back to Abraham, who's the father, in one sense, the father of the faith. And I think he probably was one of the richest people of his time. And the reason I say that is he had a household, which is the biblical word for a business. He had a household in the thousands, and
Yeah.
he was probably at his time. He's probably one of the richest people maybe on earth at the time. I mean, he was very, very wealthy, and yet he still was the father of the faith. He's known not for his wealth but for his faith.
Mhm.
And so, can Christians be rich? Yes, of course they can, but the issue is not what you have, it's more your attitude towards what you have.
Okay. So, like where your heart is in terms of your riches.
Yeah, yeah. And again, let's go back to Abraham. I don't think he, I mean, there's no indication that he put a lot of stock in his riches, but he did, he was obedient, as we all know, to the point of sacrificing his own son. So his heart was with God. He wanted a relationship with God, and he had one. And that expressed itself through obedience. And the wealth was almost a gift from God that he there's no record of him actually striving for wealth.
Sure.
So I think it's really a great example for all of us. Put your heart right and let God take care of the wealth.
Yeah. So the wealth was almost like you said, a gift or even a reward from
Yeah.
God for the fact that Abraham was so devoted to God.
Yes, I think so. I think it was. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. And then um, that turned into his love for God, and then the wealth that came from God. But then, like you said, knowing that Abraham was so willing to sacrifice his only son, or almost
Yeah.
give the gift back to God.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I could jump forward here to New Testament times, we
Mhm.
have we have several examples of very wealthy Christians, and I think of Lydia, who was Paul's first convert, and the Bible says she was a business person. And said she and her whole household were converted at the same time. So she accepted Christ, and her whole household did
Mhm.
too. And a household is a biblical business. It's composed of family and servants and slaves and employees.
Sure.
So Lydia, who was I don't know if she's married or not, the Bible doesn't say, but
Mhm.
but Lydia had a business with multiple folks involved in it. And so I mean, that would have meant some degree of wealth.
Right.
And then, of course, we have the example of Cornelius, who is the Roman centurion. So centurion is a leader of a hundred soldiers.
Yeah.
So he was, and he sent his servants. So he had
Mhm.
servants, and he was a man of authority. Probably lived in a beautiful home,
Mhm.
and he had authority over a large group of people. And I'm sure in those times he would have been considered wealthy, and he was also a convert to Christ. So,
Very
can
true.
Christians be wealthy? Yeah, of course they can. It's not a matter of how much you have; it's a matter of your attitude towards it.
That's a great
Mm.
perspective.
Mm.